great future. We're talking real money.
Well, it's money talking time again, although this time with a bit of a twist. Once a year, we do sort of a unique show, and this is the time for that show. This is the live program, well, live when it's on the radio in Seattle program, from Retiremeet 2025, the 11th annual event that we've held here in Bellevue, Washington. I'm Don McDonald. Tom Cock is in the big room with all the people speaking and the guests and things, and he's making me do the show by myself again like he did, I think it was it just last week? Oh, time flies. Yeah, I did the show alone last week, too. Anyway, so in his stead, once again, I've kicked him out and replaced him with another host. Maybe better. I'll let you be the judge. Mr. Joey Saul-Sehy from the lovely Stacking Benjamins podcast. Joe, good to see you again.
Dude, those are big shoes to fill. Tom's shoes.
Really, if you look at his tiny feet.
Does he really?
Tiny hands, tiny feet. I'm not going to say anything more. No. That's all I'm saying.
Going to leave that right there.
I'll leave that right there.
Yes. Yeah. But thank you for inviting me.
Hey, it's so great to have you. So this is the first time that Joe has been to our Retiremeet event. Tom and I have been here 11 times now.
It's amazing.
Yeah, 11 years.
It's got to feel like yesterday, too.
Yeah. The first one is best left forgotten.
That's what you were telling me stories from that one before, and you guys have definitely pivoted.
That was the quarterback controversy.
But hey, Jim Zorn. I mean, everybody in this town, I think, knows Jim Zorn. Maybe not.
Yeah. Well, anyone over 12 or 15 or something.
Right.
20.
Yeah, good point.
Anyway, welcome to Talking Real Money. Of course, we can still take your calls. You can call me. You can call Joe. You can call anybody. I mean, if you want somebody from the audience, we'll go get them for you.
What are they going to call us?
What they call us, whatever they want, because they're the listeners and they're important. 855-935-TALK is our phone number, 855-935-8255. And since we're doing a Retiremeet themed show, Joe, this is your first time at Retiremeet. What, so far, I mean, we're still doing it. It's still going on until like 3 o'clock, Pacific time. What are your impressions? What do you think is being gotten and can be obtained from something like this?
I just love the fact that this not only sold out, but it sold out so quickly. Because when you look nationally at financial literacy, it is such a problem. And the fact that there's so many people that are attracted to an event like this who want to do better, it's super exciting for me, because I think step one is to make sure that you have enough money. And then step two is, and this was my talk today, which was let's make sure we have as much life then as we possibly can.
And that's something that we miss a lot. I think we miss it even in our show. We get focused on money because of the name.
Sure.
My presentation was talking real retirement.
It was.
But this show is talking real money. So we talk a lot about money. But what is it about the lifestyle component that you think is most important to bear in mind when you're heading into retirement? Because that's what this is about. Oh,
and I led off with it today, which was, I believe it's much more about connections than we originally thought that it was. We had Josh Brown, downtown Josh Brown, on our show a few weeks ago. And Josh said this, the idea of retirement really isn't that old, Don. I mean, like 50 years.
No, it's really not. It's funny. I was doing a ton of research on the history of retirement. I did it last year and this year. And all the research shows that nobody was retiring 100 years ago.
Right. Yeah. And when you did, initially, a lot of people had pensions, right? So this era, this world where a lot of us are graduating to retirement without pensions is a whole new thing.
Actually, let me tell you, pensions are they have never been a norm. That's been an illusion. That's been a misconception by the public. And I think it has something to do with the shows we watch and the things we consume, because never has a majority of the American population, never have they had access to a private pension.
Well, the reason why I bought into that then was because, my practice when I was a planner a long time ago was in Detroit, where everybody had a pension.
Everybody was
right.
Had and so you're getting a different perception.
Absolutely.
But if you're in the Midwest where there are no union employees and the only people who get pensions there are maybe municipal.
Yeah.
it's still important for everybody to really think about their own financial situation. We got to take a break. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. That's 855-935-8255. We'd love to talk with you. Me, Joe, Tom will be back here later, and stick around.
Tom and Don are talking real money. Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Talking Real Money. It's right back here. Talking Real Money is live from the Maidenbauer Center in Bellevue right now. I'm Don McDonald, joined by my new co-host, Joey Saul-Sehy.
Good seeing y'all.
Yeah. Bye, Tom.
See you later, Tom.
Tom came to get his sandwich and go home. How's the show going, Tom?
This show or that show?
That show in there, the other room.
Roxy in there. She's killing it.
Oh, Roxy's speaking. We love Roxy. Anyway, we're glad you're there listening to us. And if you want to call us and ask us stuff, please do. Our phone number is 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. And Joe, there's no pressure with Tom here. Don't penny. Just totally ignore him. Totally ignore him. He's sitting in the audience eating his sandwich. But we were talking about lifestyle in retirement.
Yeah.
One of my beliefs about retirement is that we're giving up on what we do best, maybe a little early. All of us. I mean, we people are workers.
Well, and not only that, you look at a traditional retirement, what people tell us our goals should be. Mm-hmm. You see anybody who's a senior and they're working and everybody's whispering, why are they still working? Yet if it's something that lights them up, why would they stop? Why would they ever stop if it lights them up, if it truly is the thing they love doing? And I feel like a lot of people feel that pressure in retirement that, oh, I'm supposed to retire. Not that I want to, mm-hmm. but I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to have the vacation house. And I talked about this on stage. I'm supposed to have the vacation house where I don't see any of my friends anymore. And then nobody calls me, I mean, quote,
I take Debbie, I put her in an Airstream and just drag her around the country. Go, you'll never talk to anyone again, ever.
I thought you were going to end that by saying I put Debbie in an Airstream. I haven't seen her in a year and a half. It's been wild. Yeah.
But so what do you believe is the right time? How do you determine the right time to retire?
I don't know that there is such a thing as a right time. I believe what this guy, Benjamin Brand, who's a CFP in North Dakota, says, which is tie your retirement to today, no matter what age you are. So if you are, in your 30s and you're listening to us,
both of you.
When you do those when you go on family vacations, go to places where you think you might want to retire later. Do things that you might want to. Now, the kids might not enjoy that as much as you do, but the more you can turn your life into a science experiment and then do this great pivot from what I do today for money mm-hmm. to what I truly love, but begin doing it as soon as possible, I think then you get a much more seamless pre-retirement retirement.
So sort of practice and
Absolutely.
Learn about it.
Yeah. And you know what? If something goes poorly, that's great data. For Cheryl and I thought we were going to be digital nomads. We sold our house. We sold all our stuff. And you know what, Don? I hated it. It was horrible. And I thought for sure it was what I wanted to do. Now, the cool thing is I'm nowhere near wanting to stop doing what I do, hanging out with you. So it was great data that I am not the nomad I thought I was going to be.
Now, you are how old?
56, almost 57.
Okay. So you're getting closer.
Right there. Yeah.
What do you, right now that you're doing all of this pre-planning, what do you see your retirement, whatever that is, looking like?
Almost no change, because I've been practicing that already.
You're already retired. I'm working as little as possible right now.
No. Well, it doesn't feel like work. I mean, I really don't like that phrase that if you work, in something you love, you never work a day in your life, which every job has some not so great days. But I got to tell you, there's nothing I'd rather do than sit on a microphone helping people with money like you do, you know? I absolutely love it. So I think, why would I change any of that stuff? Why would I change that? Now, what has happened is my wife is about 10 years away, Don. And so we've really been experimenting with what she is thinking about for, quote, retirement when she gets tired of doing her stuff.
Right, because she's got a very stressful job.
Yes, so we have started a travel blog. We love to travel, and she loves writing. And so, it's stackingadventures.com, and we just blog about
Clever
the places.
names. Stacking adventures.
Isn't it weird? Building
Do you
the
stack
empire.
the adventures on top of each other?
As many adventures as you can possibly have.
I got to check it out.
It's a passion project, and it just is something that during these pre-retirement years helps Cheryl do the thing we're talking about.
So again, it's the setting yourself up for something when the time comes.
Absolutely. Because you know what we always do? We're like, oh, when I get to retirement, I'm going to do this, going to do this, going to do this. It's stuff I've never done before. And then I get there and I find out I hate half of that junk. I don't want to do any of that stuff.
I'm not good at it.
Right.
I'm not having fun. And that's the thing that really bothers me about most of the talk of retirement. And I think most of the thought of retirement. I think a lot of people in those working years before retirement are thinking, this is just going to be my time to do nothing.
Yeah, right. Which is a recipe for disaster. Wall Street Journal a few years ago had a piece called "The Case Against Early Retirement," and you know what that piece said was that when you retire, your mortality expectation goes up. AKA, we retire, we die.
You kill yourself by retiring.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of slow suicide.
You don't want that.
No, I don't want that.
No. So you definitely need to think about what are the things I'm going to do and playtest those. Be your own lab rat and playtest those as soon as you can.
You know, it's funny you should mention that because not long ago, my youngest daughter, who is an educator, she was taking some acting classes several years ago because she likes to act. She wanted to do some film acting, not stage, film acting. And she was taking this class and she said, "Dad, you'd love this class. You should take this class." So I did. I went and took it for a couple of years and just to try out, because I love to act, to try out film and television acting and see if it was something I wanted to do. Turns out I didn't want to do it.
Yeah. And that's great data.
I didn't want to do it. I love to act, but these auditions and no, it's not fun. And I remember this. I flashed back to when I was a young man just out of school, when I went to New York thinking I was going to be an actor. And went to 2 auditions for plays off Broadway. It was such a miserable experience. I never did it again.
Forget it.
Yeah, but so I learned it again.
Yeah, it's
by
not
trying it.
It's not bad data. It is all even, and you got a great story out of it, right? I mean, it's a great story. I did this thing. I didn't love it. That's an awesome story to tell people and kind of a great cautionary tale.
Well, and plus there's an I loved it part to it because then I went, but I do like doing voice work. I'm enjoying that. Maybe I should pursue more voice acting.
This is funny because a guy named John Acuff, brilliant guy. John says that everybody looks into the abyss and they look for this big P purpose, right? That like, what is my legacy going to be? And he's like, that freaks you out. Don't do that. Turn around like you did. Look at the stuff that lit you up in the past and look for those clues. So going down this rabbit hole of, yeah, I like acting, but I really don't like the audition process. Oh, but there's this other way I'm acting, which is voiceover work. I love that. And I think we're all afraid to step through these doors because we're afraid that other doors are going to close.
Great. I'm honest to God. I've been thinking about a book and I wanted to call it Through Open Doors.
That's a wonderful book
because doors open all the time and we ignore them.
Yeah, I should have trademarked that before you said it. So TM, you owe me $20 now, Don.
Okay. Hold on. I think I have it on me. I'll pay you to be here, Joe. You're that good. You're that good.
I thank you.
But yeah, it's just these doors open and we've got to just walk in them.
Yeah.
And even in retirement, I think that makes sense.
It totally does. Oh, in retirement, look at those things that lit you up and you're going to find clues to the new stuff by walking through that door and go, oh, guess what? I didn't know because I like hiking. I also like going to botanical gardens.
Yeah. We're going to talk more about what it means to retire, how you can retire better. And of course, we're going to answer your questions at 855-935-TALK should you have any. You just have to call us and ask them. 855-935-8255.
Tom and Don are talking real money. For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Broadcasting when we're live from Bellevue, Washington, the Maiden Bauer Center at Retiremeet 2025. I'm Don McDonald, along with my dear friend Joey Saul-Sehy, the host of the Stacking Benjamins podcast and one of our premier speakers today. And he was here talking about living your best life in retirement. The money is so critical. You got to have the money. And that's why it's such an important topic to discuss. But once you've gotten that, what do you do with it? Do you travel all the time? I guess that's what you guys are going to do.
That's what I'm going to do. But, I have friends, and I'm actually thinking of a client that I had who, for his job, he traveled the world. And it was funny because he had worked for a company, did all this traveling. His spouse hadn't traveled at all. So Don, she wanted to travel all the time. He wanted a garden and he wanted to sit with a book. And so we had to, the three of us, reconcile those two goals because obviously they wanted to retire together.
Differently.
Yeah. But so working through that, I think is a big part. How are we going to make everybody happy?
So you bought him a suitcase that holds a bunch of dirt.
Give a garden wherever he goes.
He gardens around the world. Let's go to the phones. 855-935-TALK is our number. Let's head out to the, we were talking about corn earlier today. The great state of Iowa. Nick, welcome to the program. Nick?
And yep, you hear me okay?
I hear you now. Thanks, Nick.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, guys. Appreciate both of your podcasts. Hey, question
It's a 2
today
for
about
1 day.
long-term disability. Yeah, 2 for 1. I'll take it. Hey, well, I have a question about long-term disability. I'm about 25 years away from retirement, so I'm not quite ready to ask questions about that. But my wife and I both have long-term disability through our employer that has about 60% income replacement. And we were looking at if it was necessary to add a supplemental long-term disability policy just to make up that gap in coverage.
You want to do it? You want me to do it?
Well, I love this question.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this question, Nick, because back when I was a financial planner, the one risk people didn't want to talk about was what if I get disabled? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a safe skier. Everything's fine. I'm a good driver. Like, it's not going to happen to me. And yet, if you watch any of social media or things on the internet, it rarely is you. It's somebody else who's just not wrecked your day, wrecked really maybe the rest of your life. So I don't start from that standpoint. Well, here's exactly where I start from. I start from, if I'm disabled, what are my needs going to be? How much money do I need to have? Now, you don't have any of the expenses anymore associated with work, but you might have other expenses. So I figure out what percentage of my income do I need? And then I look wherever is best for that amount of money. Obviously, I'm going to start through work because that's often subsidized. And then outside of there, if it's more than 60%, yes. So my answer then is purely based on what your expenses are.
Right, which makes sense because, as I always say, it really depends and it's personal. Yeah. It depends. It's personal. The one thing though, bear this in mind, and I try to make this point with long-term care insurance. People do not generally spend all of their life disabled from a short-term disability. At any given time, about 5% of the population is disabled for a short period of time, 6 months or less. The percentages for longer term disabilities caused through life is much smaller. You generally get a disability of some sort and you can either find a way around it, mitigate it, or you get better. And that's why it's so important to have some sort of a disability insurance, and you're well covered at 60%. But you need, whatever it is, there needs to be a pretty sizable emergency fund. That's money you're not just giving away to an insurance company that becomes usable later in life, too.
The idea, money nerds online will often challenge me about the idea of an emergency fund because they're like, I've got lines of credit. Have you seen what a savings account pays? It pays next to nothing. So I'm just going to keep money invested and I'm not going to have an emergency fund. But I think that is your number one insurance policy.
I agree. I think an emergency fund is literally self-insuring.
It totally is.
To save yourself a fortune in disability premiums or accident or insurance premiums. You can have a high deductible on policies.
Everything.
Emergency money is like this. Yeah.
I would say we have an 8 months fully funded emergency fund to supplement what we have with our long-term disabilities.
Well, wonderful. Then, Nick, you are a person who's apparently been listening to both of our podcasts too. Thanks so much for calling. We really appreciate you. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. We'll be right back.
Tom and Don are talking real money. Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
And speaking of something you probably need in retirement, during the last segment of the show, my Apple Watch started screaming and vibrating on my wrist.
People might have heard it. I could hear it a little bit.
You could hear it, yeah. And so I looked down at my wrist and it says, "It appears you've taken a hard fall. Do you want us to call 911?" And I went, no.
Thank goodness there was a break where you noticed it.
I thumped my wrist. I guess I must have pounded on the table. I'm one of these people who uses my hands a lot for emphasis.
He's expressive, folks.
A little expressive. It's harder to be expressive when you're achier than you used to be. I'm old. I'm getting old, man.
I don't know, man.
You spring chicken.
Stop. Keep going.
Just
Stop.
young. Just young. Well, we're at Retiremeet, an annual event that Tom and I have been doing. We created the first one 11 years ago, whatever year that would make that. I can't do the math. And we're doing another one this year from the Maidenbauer Center in Bellevue. This will be up online, and I think you can register online to see the recorded version of it still at retiremeet.com. It'll be up in about 2 weeks. We'll have to edit it and put it up, but they'll be able to watch that. Tom just wandered back into the room. I'm not sure what the plan is for regaining control of his microphone.
Oh, no, he's gone. I'm sorry.
I don't think that's going to happen.
The seat is taken?
I'm okay with it.
How was Roxy? Okay, come on over here and just you can share. Here, what?
I'll share with Joe. Roxy was really good, as she always is. I mean, she was well spoken. She's very calm. Her demeanor is very good.
What'd she talk about?
She talked about helping young people get started with investing, how to finance that, the different avenues, right? Because you can do Roth IRAs, you can do 529s. It could become Roth IRAs. All the stuff that people can do to help the next generation get going.
Hey, since this is the spontaneous edition of Talking Real Money. And it truly is. I mean, Joe came in to eat his sandwich, and I said...
He didn't get to the third of the way through it, and you bounced him.
Said,
yeah, right.
You want to do the show? He goes, yeah, sure, why
okay,
not? Yeah. He has an affinity for microphones.
He does. Well, he's very good on them, so I think
he has a thing for them. Yeah. He does. Like me, I have sort of a mic
you
fetish.
have like 9 different mics.
I have
probably
so
have
many mics.
You do, but...
Well, there's always a better mic. It's always like,
one just, okay.
I love the dual pattern of that Austrian audio. It's just.
I do have questions in the other room, which I forgot to give you.
You did. You forgot to give me. No, but what I was going to ask is, since Roxy is a member of the Talking Real Money family of hosts.
Yes.
That maybe you could ask her to come in later, and
I can get her to come in right now if you want.
And you could talk to her, or I could talk to her. Maybe you should talk to her since you did the event.
I think you should talk to her because I got to introduce Herb Weisbaum just a couple minutes. So.
Oh gosh, yeah, you got to do Herb.
And
if you don't do Herb well, you'll make him mad.
No, he already told me. You screwed it up last year, so the introduction's going to be up in my first slide.
Did he really?
He said you got it wrong every time. This time I've got it fixed.
This is why I told you. I said you're introducing Herb.
I know because every time I do it, he walks up and goes, "No,
yeah,
that's not right. That's not right. Not right at all."
Herb
blah, blah, blah.
is very
particular
about things.
Well,
I was
why he's got 5 Emmys? Probably.
I was going to say critical.
Yeah,
well, you got an Emmy, don't you? No,
I got an Emmy nomination. Yes, I hold on to that tightly. Like I got nominated once.
I've been nominated for Voice Awards. I didn't win. It doesn't count if you don't win.
Well, but I have it framed, so people mistake it. They come and say, "Oh, Tom Emmy." Oh, okay. Like, oh, okay, that works. So,
did you notice there's no statue?
I know, whatever. So,
yeah.
No, I can bring Roxy in if you guys want to talk to her. She'd love that. She's right outside the door.
Well, why don't we do it the next hour?
Okay, and if you want, I'll bring you the questions too. This is really off the cuff.
That'd be really great. Gosh, what a guy. And he did all that even while you remain in his chair.
This is how the planning works on your show? You guys are the pros.
This is how the planning works. I mean, it's like Tom just shows up in the laundry room with a load. And I'm going, Tom, you need to sort those. Your wife's going to be angry if
keep your whites white.
If you put those whites in with those reds,
it's going to be pink.
You're going to be pink. You're going to be Mr. Pink.
Tom looks good in pink.
It's very spontaneous. Tom does wear pink well. Yeah. It's because of the tiny hands, tiny feet. Hands, tiny feet. I'm going to be in so much trouble when he listens back to this podcast. Because remember, every Saturday show becomes, I shouldn't say every. One time the station forgot to record the show. And I was very unhappy. I was testy.
You got to do an encore presentation then.
We don't remember what we said.
Yeah.
So, I now record a backup at my studio at home. So I have a backup of every show. So from now on, hopefully every show goes up as a podcast on typically Tuesdays and Wednesdays, unless there's a Monday holiday, then it's Wednesday and Thursday or something. So you can always listen again. So you can call us on Saturdays from 3 to 5 Eastern, and then listen back on, a weekday to the podcast. So we're a podcast and a radio show, unlike Stacking Benjamins, which is just a podcast.
Podcast only. Yeah.
Podcast only. But a much longer podcast. You guys do a long podcast. How long is your podcast typically?
Between 60 and 70, usually. 60 minutes, 70 minutes.
Oh, I thought you meant hours. Okay.
No. Yeah. No, who do you think I am, Joe Rogan?
Yeah, Joe Rogan. Joe I swear he never leaves that studio.
He can't.
No.
There's no way.
He's constantly there.
He must be charged by the day, and he wants to use every hour of that contract that he can get.
And during the breaks, he's probably still eating insects. And what was the name of that show he did?
Fear Factor.
Fear Factor. That's right.
Fear Factor.
Fear Factor. 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. We're going to be here until at the Maiden Bar Center until about 3, I think. And we'll be doing this show until 2 Pacific time. So, you can't stop by. I can't invite you. I'm sorry. Like,
sold out.
I guess no, I better not. I get in big trouble if I invited you to see the radio show, because then you might try to sneak in the other room and somebody would lose. It's sold out. We sold every seat. In fact, some of the participants, the people doing it, weren't getting seats.
Tom and Don are talking real money. Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Hi there, Don McDonald here, not in Florida, for a rare visit. Used to be all the time visits to the Seattle area. I'm in Bellevue at Retiremeet, along with my friend and colleague in the podcasting industry, Joey Saul-Sehy from the Stacking Benjamins podcast. And that means you're like stacking up guys named Ben, right?
That's exactly what we're doing.
That's what I figured.
Yes. And they're difficult. A, they squirm around a bunch, and
That's
B,
right.
they're heavy.
You have to hit them harder.
Oh,
Hit them harder.
I think HR be all over me then.
Yeah. You have HR too? I didn't think you had that much. We don't. Yeah, we do. Okay. We do. Tom was good enough, even though his seat has been usurped by the fiscal deity, Joey Saul-Sehy here. He was good enough to bring in some questions that you guys have sent in to us at talkingrealmoney.com on the contact form, because you can type your questions in on the contact form, or you can speak them in. Yes, you can speak them in on the contact form, and those will be magically transported to me, where I'll answer them on the Friday Q&A show. So here are some of the typed ones. This one wung its way to us over the internet from Raleigh, North Carolina, and it's about Social Security. All right, here we go. You're smart on this. My ex-husband was good enough to advise me on his projected amounts for Social Security retirement benefits. As he was a significantly higher earner, 50% of his benefits are projected to be higher than 100% of mine. Follow me along?
Yeah.
Good with this so far. Okay. So is it possible I would take advantage of that in the future? We were married for 20 years. However, he is 2 years younger than I am. How does that part work? Do I have to wait until he's of eligible retirement age, even though I would be eligible earlier? If he chooses to hold off taking benefits until he's 70, do I have to wait until 72? Thanks for everything. I learn a lot from your show. Not yours, ours.
Of course, yours. Yeah, you don't learn anything. If you do learn anything from Stacking Benjamins, you have to keep it to yourself, because you ruin our reputation.
I learned something.
Well,
I learned that Paula Pant is really super bright.
One of our contributors.
Yeah, she's great. We're going to bring her instead of Joe next
year. I know, right? Upgrade.
Anyway, do you have an answer?
No, I don't.
I'm thinking about it here.
Well, let me tell you exactly what my answer is. This part of planning.
Social Security is so hard.
Well, and this part of planning is so important. And here's the thing. Whenever you send anybody to the Social Security Administration office, I've even found, Don, that when you talk to the first person, they give you an answer. And then you talk to the second person, you get a different answer. And you really want to know how this stuff works. And as you know, there are dates that you have to get a lot of this stuff known by, or it goes bye-bye. So you don't have forever to figure it out. I think that anything related to Social Security is super important, and you need to single check, double check, triple check every piece and put together, how do I get the most squeeze out of this? I mean, it's funny. I was listening to somebody online talk about Social Security, and the common wisdom, and Tom said it on stage today, said the common wisdom for a lot of people, wait on Social Security until you get the full benefit, right?
70.
Yeah, wait as long as you possibly can to get as much, because every year that you wait, it's like an 8% return. Like it's a cha-ching.
And in like in a case like this, and again, I don't know the particulars of this. Before I go on with my answer, there's a resource that when you have complex Social Security questions, it's worth $50. It's worth $50. It's called Maximize My Social Security by Professor Lawrence Kotlikoff. It's $50 to use it for a year. And you can run scenarios, all kinds of withdrawal scenarios, and see what they look like. Because generally we get questions that have so many, like we got one that we just passed on, and it was like taking it at 66 and 4 months and an eligible spousal benefit.
This is part of a much bigger plan.
Well, it's part of the plan. And here's the thing, though, about one of the rule of thumb, general rules that work is that that the highest wage earner should wait the longest.
Yeah.
If you were a lower wage earner, then you can start taking it early, because then the higher wage earner's money will be substantially more. And if that person dies, the lower wage earner will get that higher wage earner's benefit. So that may be something. But as far as your husband filing to get his benefit, it's going to have to be after he files it, I would think. But again, I'm not going to say that's an exact answer.
You know, I just think an education on this is so important because, you know, I mentioned that Tom said on the main stage, wait as long as possible. There's a woman on who's very credible. Sadly, I didn't know we were going to talk about this, so I
didn't either until we got this question.
Yeah, so
I don't see these in advance.
Yeah, so I don't have her name, but she was making a great case, Tom, for taking it earlier, you know? And I think it more wraps around your individual plan than anything else.
It's the argument is, if you take it early and you invest it aggressively, you could end up with more money. And that's true. You could, but you have to aggressively invest it. You can't, if you're at 6, 7, 8%, it's going to be a wash.
She actually does it for a different reason.
What's her reason?
Which, by the way, to your point, I don't like that argument either, the way you don't like it, because if you're investing it aggressively, there's no risk premium. You're investing it aggressively to try to match it, which is never a recipe for success.
Right. And you still have to match it, you have to be pretty aggressive.
Absolutely. Hers was around another statistic that I shared on the main stage today, which was, you know, you've got this life expectancy. Men live till their late 70s, women till their early 80s. When you look at that,
it's a conspiracy.
That doesn't.
Women have gotten together. They went, we know if we kill them early.
I care about that way less than I used to, because early this fall, I saw another statistic that was on the Wealthy Accountant blog, a very reputable blog. The average healthy life expectancy is 66.1 years old in the United States, meaning, you know,
no, it's over for me.
All those goals we have after age 66, if we're not focusing on our health and on our, you know, working out, our diet, all that stuff, it doesn't matter what we plan, because our health is getting worse and worse and worse too early. So that's actually why she says to take it early.
Okay.
She's like, listen, take it. Who cares about later on?
Take it while you're healthy.
Absolutely. Because you're going to use it.
There's a price on health. Oh, yeah. Okay. That one makes sense. But these questions really do get into, for example, the one that we just got, this is getting into specifics. And it gets Social Security is one of the hard. Taxes are the other one. When we get tax questions, unless you're an accountant, and even if you're a certified public accountant and well-read and well-versed, the IRS still throws you curves that you couldn't anticipate.
Well, and there's another thing going on there too, Don, which is, while you've got your CPA, I really like my CPA and my CFP to be in the same room together, because what I find is the CFP is much more interested in the long-term planning.
That's the certified financial planner.
Yeah. And setting things up for the future so that when you get to this year and the CPA takes over, the CPA does a great job of right now, like the puzzle pieces of what you created. The CFP, the financial planner, is helping you work on the right puzzle in the first place.
And to me, that's all part of this concept that we both subscribe to, and that is comprehensive financial planning will save your financial life.
So much. Everything needs to dovetail.
Save your life. Even if you never hire an advisor to advise you over your lifetime, you should hire someone, a CFP, who does robust planning, and your CPA to get together and draw up a plan that accounts for investing and taxes and income and all that stuff. 855-935-TALK.
Tom and Don are talking real money. For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Hello, everybody.
We hate that guy. Yeah, we're not talking about
I'm
Kotlikov.
Don,
We're talking about
along
him.
with Joey Saul-Sehy, talking to our one member of our studio audience.
And we hate him.
Yeah. His name is Larry. We don't like Larry. And we're not even going to talk about what we were talking about. So don't do it. We don't want to make him mad. Don't make Larry mad.
Well, Larry was considering running for president when he was on my
I remember
show.
that. We're talking about Lawrence Kotlikov. Yes, he was. Yes.
Professor in Boston. So he kept going off.
He's a savant on Social Security, though. He's like,
no, he totally is.
Yeah.
But he won't stay on the topic. Yeah. He kept talking to me both times for like 20 minutes afterwards about politics. And I'm like, no, we're all about like doing what you can do, and that stuff, go vote. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't want
and that's one of the things about an event like Retiremeet. You know, it doesn't matter what's going on outside of your life. We're going to talk about the issues that over which you have control.
Yes.
The things you can change. You can fret all you want about stuff you can't change, but it's not going to make any difference.
Yeah.
You need to concentrate on the things you can change. And when it comes to retiring comfortably, the things you can change are your rate of savings, the plan you have, the way you invest your money, how you spend both while you're working and how you're going to spend in retirement. You need to have a clue what that is.
And to your point, that making it all dovetail.
Making
Which
it.
I love. We got to that point last time. That was great.
So it sounds complicated, but it really, if you take the little baby steps along the way, it's really pretty easy.
And it makes life easier.
It's intuitive, and it makes your future life easier.
So much easier.
I had a woman come up to me out in the hall, and she said, I listen to you guys all the time, and, you know, life has been hectic, but we're getting to retirement age. And she goes, the one thing we really have let drop is doing any kind of planning. We got to get started. And she goes, that's why we came here, to just get that impetus to get started. I said, and it's really not that hard.
Good.
I said, honestly, call Tom, literally call Tom any day of the week, and Tom will sit down with you. He will sit down with you. He won't charge you a penny. He will give you something that you need to do to make this process easier and get you started.
Yeah.
It's nothing. As a matter of fact, all of you can do it. All you have to do is go to talkingrealmoney.com and click on Meet an Advisor, and you can meet Tom or any of our advisors. And I swear to you, this is not the steak dinner sales pitch. What?
I didn't realize we were back on.
We've been on the whole time.
I had no idea. I thought we were just chatting.
We were, but we're chatting on the radio.
Oh, good.
Yeah. You didn't know we were on?
I had no idea.
Because you had your headphones off. You didn't hear the traffic.
I know.
He's a professional, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, go to talkingrealmoney.com, click on the Meet an Advisor form, and then you can spend some time with Tom. And I swear to you that unlike, as I was starting to say, unlike those steak dinners when I looked at Joe really strangely, you're not going to go to some meeting and get a full court press to become a client. You're not. It's not going to happen. I guarantee it. If you call me, you can call me a liar on Saturdays, but it's not going to happen. You just get help. We believe in just helping people. That's what we do. That's why we do what we do. That's why we do it with great people like Joey Saul-Sehy from Stacking Benjamin. So join us, talkingrealmoney.com.
The opinions and views expressed on this podcast were current on the date recorded. Opinions, estimates, forecasts, and statements of financial market trends that are based on current market conditions constitute our judgment and are subject to change without notice, including any forward-looking estimates or statements which are based on certain expectations and assumptions. Although information and opinions given have been obtained from or based on sources believed to be reliable, no warranty or representation is made as to their correctness, completeness, or accuracy. Information presented on the podcast is not personalized investment advice from Appella Wealth. The views and strategies described may not be suitable for everyone. This podcast does not identify all the risks, direct or indirect, or other considerations which might be material to you when entering any financial transaction. Past performance does not guarantee future results, and profitable results cannot be guaranteed. We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for informational, educational, and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. The podcast is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Appella Wealth, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Please see Appella Wealth's ADV Part 2A on our website for information regarding Appella's fees and services. Appella Capital, LLC, DBA Appella Wealth, is an investment advisory firm registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. The firm only transacts business in the states where it is properly registered or excluded or exempt from registration requirements. Registration with the SEC or any state securities authority does not imply a certain level of skill or training. Appella does not provide tax or legal advice, and nothing either stated or implied here should be inferred as providing such advice. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and important disclosure related to performance of any specific index or fund quoted in this podcast. And the lawyers get richer.